Okay folks, so today I'm going to do another grilled sandwich, but this is called a Monte Cristo. And I'm not sure where it stems from or whatever. But anyway, it's a almost like a Decker sandwich, except instead of 3 pieces of bread, we're using 3 ingredients inside. We're going to dip it in egg, and then we're going to grill it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crack my egg. Remember, always crack on the flat, right? Don't crack on the side of the bowl, because it's easier to break and it cracks better when you do it that way. Then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of milk. And I'm just going to whip that all up. I'm making basically a wash. You just need that blended. You don't need it to go crazy. Of course, I always want to add a little bit of salt. And I try to stay away from regular table salt because it's iodized, and that's pure rock salt from the Himalayas. Not that that means anything, it's just a big rock salt. And of course, fresh cracked pepper, not necessary, but I can never find the black pepper that, so that's always right there. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty simple sandwich. I mean, basically, it looks fancy, it talks fancy, but it's just, okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spread a little bit of mustard. Now, in the real world, in the great world, or whatever, I mean, you can change out any, I mean, I would use maybe a Dijon, except I don't have any. But the recipe actually calls for just regular straight mustard. Okay. And then some mayonnaise on the other half. And again, you may want, this is the standard recipe, but you may want to switch it out and do maybe a Caesar dressing on that side, or a ranch dressing, Dijon, or a really brown mustard on the other side. Okay, pretty much that's it. Now here's the other thing. I'm going to use prosciutto ham because I don't have any of the other ham. This is just happened to have, this is like a cured ham, Italian ham, and I'm just going to lay that down, a couple of pieces on my sandwich. Or maybe I'll just kind of do that up. Then I'm going to put my cheese in the middle. Right, then I'm going to put a couple of pieces of turkey or chicken breast or whatever you happen to have. It's all just sandwich meats. Okay. Now, my recipe is pretty simple. Okay. And very easy to do. Just going to turn my pan up a little bit, get it hot again. Now, I've had people talk about this sandwich, and they like to deep fry it. Well, first of all, I don't have a deep fryer. Second of all, I don't think anybody needs that much oil or fat in their life. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little pan frying right even here. I'm not even going to put any oil in the pan because my pan, hopefully it's seasoned properly, and it's a cast iron. Now, if you're going to use another pan, you might want to spray it a little bit, or if you don't have a cast iron pan that's seasoned properly, a little bit of oil won't kill the sandwich, right? But it'll, in fact, you know what? I'm going to add just a bit of oil. It'll help with the browning a little bit. Right? Just a little bit, just to kind of, okay, my pan's really kind of hot right now, and that's good. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip the sandwich. Okay, and I'm going to let that absorb up. Okay, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a flip. And you don't have to get it all the way around. Like, you don't have to soak it like all the way up. A couple eggs, you could probably do 2 sandwiches. So now I've almost got a French toast effect going on here. All I'm going to do now is just put it down. my spatula. Let that fry up. So this is going to be, I think we're probably going to do one more sandwich tomorrow. And I think it's going to be burgers. And what I'm going to ask tomorrow is, tomorrow's lesson plan is going to lead into next week's assignment, which is going to be creating your own special burger. Okay? I've done this project for years now. Hopefully you'll be able to do it at home with your family, but just get a couple of different things. I'm just going to give this a quick flip. There you can see the great color of that sandwich. It's really super great. So anyway, folks, next week's going to be kind of a, hopefully we'll get the burgers done tomorrow, and that'll be tomorrow's assignment. Now, when I talk about a gourmet burger, I'm one of these guys, and it's up to you, it's entirely your project, but I'm one of these guys who doesn't like a lot of chunks of things in my ground meat, right? Like I don't like onions and stuff like that. Unless you chop them really fine and sweat them out or even cook them a little bit longer, then that's the only way I really kind of like it. Okay. Just going to take this out of the pan now. Turn my heat off. And I just want to let it rest just for like a little bit of time, just to kind of make sure that it's doing its thing. Okay. And then just going to cut through. Show you guys what it looks like inside. The prosciutto ham doesn't cut as well as the other does. Right, but there you go. You've got a nice grilled egg sandwich. It doesn't really melt the cheese unless you leave it for a long, long time. But that's entirely up to you. Just basically so long as the egg's cooked. You know what? Let's do a little garnish here. And just a little bit of ketchup. Maybe a little bit of ketchup. There we go. Right, for dipping. Okay. So there you have it, folks. There's my sandwich. It's supper time here at the Erden House. So we're probably going to have a couple more of these made up. Maybe I'll even change out some of the meats. The thing about cooking, and I've always said this, right, is if you don't have the ingredients that goes into whatever it is, right, a recipe is a guideline, right? So if you don't have any turkey and you have roast beef, try it with the roast beef. If you don't have any ham or you have some salami, I've got some salami here that we're probably going to use up for the rest of the sandwiches. Got some capicola and whatever, which is another cured ham, right? So just realize that recipes are guidelines. And that's why things can change so vastly in this world, and that's why I find it exciting to be a chef and use your creativity. So until probably tomorrow, remember, if somebody loves you, it's just not me.